Alright, I wanted to show everybody something that I just found on the internet, just doing a little bit of searching the other day. It's a coffee press called the PressBot by Canyon Coffee. There's their logo, Canyon Coffee. I'll try to put a link. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of Kickstarter. Kickstarter is a crowdsourcing website where you can build or produce a product without the money up front. So what happens is you put your product ID up there and you get a bunch of people to fund it, and when your funds are reached, you then have the money to build the product and supply the people who funded you. So this was a crowdsourcing product that he did. This gentleman from Canyon Coffee, I'm trying to think if I can remember his name. Not really. He did write me a note, "See you on the trail," and he signed it, so his initials down here, but I don't remember his exact name. But if you did a search on the internet for Canyon Coffee, you'll probably find out who the gentleman is that owns the company. Anyways, he's in Arizona. That's where the Canyon Coffee comes from, Flagstaff, Arizona. He built this Nalgene bottle coffee press, which is unique because the Nalgene bottle has a small opening, but it's wider on the inside. So having a coffee press that would work with a Nalgene bottle was impossible unless you had a straight up and down one here, or a top that came apart or something like that. So what he did was he invented this idea. He took obviously the top of the Nalgene bottle and made a lid. His lid has sipping holes in it, and you'll notice that that lid now screws, my old lid now screws on top of that lid to seal it. So that's pretty cool to start with. And he's got this aluminum pipe that goes down in here, and then down at the base down here he has this threaded piece that threads up, and then once you thread it up, it's on a hinge, and the whole thing kicks back and forth like this. So the way it works is you flip it up this way, and then you pull it back like that. So let me do that. So you flip it up like that, and pull it back like that. And when it's in this position, it will then fit through the mouth of the bottle. You allow it to open up. It takes a little bit of a work to get it opened back up, but not too awful bad. You just push the pieces down. It worked a little better last time. I think when it's a little damp, it works better. I'm going to lay it down and try and flip it over, because that's how I did last time. And then you just pull it up. And then you take the threaded piece that you had a minute ago that you unthreaded. You get it all the way up to the top there. Now, obviously you have your hot water and your grounds in here, so laying it down would not have been an option. I guess you could just put your grounds in there, because the hot water would go through the top. And then you screw this back down, and now it's a press. I probably should have hot water in here, otherwise I'm not sure it's going to stay nice and smooth. It moved pretty easy when I had the water in there earlier. And I may go to put some water in here in just a second, because it doesn't seem like it wants to move as easy without the water. So you can see it becomes a press. But it looks like I need to put some water in the bottle so I don't damage it. So I'll be right back. I'm going to add some water here and show you how it works. Alright, I've added some water in here, and you can see now the press goes a little smoother. It isn't so bad. I seem to have a little stiffness up around the top here, and it could be my Nalgene bottle has been on many hikes with me, and it could be warped a little bit somewhere. It actually has been to Philmont Scout Ranch, New Mexico. That's where I got this at. And trust me, it probably got dropped. So down in here it seems to be running really smooth, and right in there, I can kind of see where I have a little dent right there actually. So having a dented Nalgene bottle would make this hard to use, but without that dent, Works pretty well. The question is, will it make a good cup of coffee? So we'll have to test that and see. And then of course you have pour spouts up top here, if you chose to pour it into something else, or you could just drink right from that. There's a pour spout down at the bottom, and there's an air hole, which I'll pour out just so you can see how small the air hole is. A little air hole at the other end. Obviously not for pouring, but that screws down in there. And then this lid seals the whole thing up. So you've got pressed coffee, grounds stuck at the bottom. You pour your water through, and all your grounds will stay down here. So, pretty cool idea. I kind of enjoyed it the way it looked like it would work. One less thing you'd have to carry on the trail. You could obviously leave this in your Nalgene bottle when you're not using it for coffee. I can get a weight for us as well here and tell you how much the whole thing weighs. But that's how it works. It's just a folded insert that goes in. Got some instructions on how to do it down here. So, neat idea. I think it was $20 or $25. Let me look here. I got it on an introductory price of $20. Pressbot is what he calls it. Oh yeah, Pressbot. So I got it on an introductory price of $20. I don't know that it will always be $20. And to get the... I don't have a place to pour my water. There's more water than that cup can handle. I guess I should have poured it all out before I tried to take it out. In order to remove the device, you have to have all your water out. You pull this up. You pull this up to where you can get to the screw piece here and unscrew it. And once it's completely unscrewed, it's on a hinge then. But the trickier part is you got to push it back down a little bit, and as you're pushing back down, it tends to turn. Let's see if you can see that. Turn. And this is the tricky part. While it's turned, you have to get your finger in there and loosen it up by pushing down on the outer edges. So that seems a little complex, but you wouldn't have to take it out. All you'd have to do is push it down, and then once you have it open like that, you can dump your grounds out. So you could leave it in there all the time. It does come out though. It's not the easiest thing in the world to get out though, I've noticed, which seems like it might be a difficult part. And maybe as it gets older and used, it will spring a little more in and out, so that spring part will probably get looser. However, I was wondering, and I don't know this yet because I haven't used it that much, I've only used it once, these hinges here, the plastic hinge part, if sprung back and forth a lot, I wonder how many spring actions that will take before it starts to break across the seam there. So that's why I was also thinking about possibly just leaving this part in the bottle at all times, and then just rinsing it and letting the grounds come out the side as it turns. Because this hinge seems very good. I don't think that hinge will fall apart. It seems like it's pretty solid in there. So, and this part here tends to work really well for screwing it down. This pole, I don't know. It's a nice pole, but I just don't know how sturdy it is. It seems pretty sturdy, and the top is just a screw. So it actually looks solid. So I don't know if there's anything to go wrong with this piece of pole here. It's a solid piece of aluminum, so that's good. Pretty solid, I guess. But let's get a weight on the whole thing with the bottle and without the bottle or whatever. So we'll get out the scale. Be right back. We're going to switch it from grams to ounces here. Let's see how many ounces this is. This piece by itself is 2.5 ounces that you're adding to your pack. Obviously an Nalgene bottle, there's a little bit of water in there still, I guess, for a fair weight. We'll just show that an Nalgene bottle is 6.4 ounces, and I know that a lot of people use lighter than this because they're kind of heavy. So together you have 8.9 ounces. Obviously, you know, you can carry a lot of things. With 8.9 ounces, you go lighter. But just to compare, I have a coffee pot that I use, that I take along a lot of times, and it is 4.9 ounces. Now I can use that as a pot to boil in, I can use it as a cup to drink out of, and I can use it as a coffee pot, and then I can also drink my coffee right out of there. What I can't use this for is a sealed container to carry my water in. So I'm going to have to take something besides this to carry my water in. Whether it be a squeeze package like this, you know, 8 ounces, or plastic water bottle. I don't have any of them laying around, but there's a lot of ways to go lighter than this setup. So adding almost 5 ounces all the way up to 8.9, it keeps bouncing around. That's about 4.5 ounces difference. So yeah, we get a good solid container here in a nice easy way to make some coffee with a press versus bringing the percolator. Just went and showed off. I like the idea. It's a neat idea. If you're interested, you could definitely check it out at Canyon Coffee. I think it's just canyoncoffee.com. Let's see if he has his website on here. canyoncoffee.us is the website. So if you're interested in one of these, check it out. It just got started this past few months here, and he's just started delivering his first batch of them. So might as well get in while the price is low. That's all I have for this video. Thanks.